YouTube for business, and why you should get monetized before you monetize. The Two Business Guys Mastermind on the reasons why it's a good idea that every business has its own YouTube channel. Enjoy. This business podcast, the Two Business Guys Mastermind, uncovers for you secrets and share tips and tricks to entrepreneurship as they mastermind on how to have startup, operational, and overall business success so that you can go on to get better results. Enjoy. All right, hey, welcome back. The Two Business Guys are masterminding on why you should start a YouTube channel, right? And then we're going to jump into some of the how-tos. Hey, everybody, I am Randy Otterbridge, one half of the Two Business Guys Mastermind, and you know who this guy is, right? He's got a new book out and all that good stuff.
How y'all doing? Robert E. Sr., Legacy Leadership Consulting Group, and the other half of the Two Business Guys Mastermind. How's everybody doing today?
All right, great. Hey, so this is what we were thinking about, everyone. You know, everybody wants to start a new YouTube channel. You know, everybody's out there trying to get monetized. But what we want to propose is that becomes the vanity opportunity, the monetization, right? Everybody wants their channel to make money. We get it. There's some specific things that you have to do. You've got to get your 4,000 hours. You got to get your 1,000 subscribers, right? You got some companies out there trying to get you to hack the system and all that, but Google knows everything and they will tank your channel. Trust me, having been there, know what that is like. So we want to get into, you know, what are some of the strategies that can be used to get you to your monetization levels? But we really want to talk about, let's build a business, right? If this is your media, this is your empire, this is the thing that you're going to be, you know, leveraging in a variety of ways. And I would like to say, let the monetization happen from these strategies, right? Now, I want to kind of use as a case study our good friend here, Robert, right? He's got the new book, Thriving in Chaos. So imagine this. Now, if you notice right here, our backgrounds are different. What we have here is just a strategy on the YouTube channel that then directs your attention. Look at that. We've got the background of the Zoom call that we're doing. And what is it? It is your book, your opportunity, your business. Now we have a QR code there, right? Now think about the strategy and the big idea here. So this is getting monetized before you get monetized, right? Mm-hmm. This is the opportunity to earn long before you get all the vanity metrics of the 4,000 hours and the 1,000 subscribers. So imagine somebody's come on to your channel, they found you somehow, and you start throwing up your opportunity. So they go, hey, what's going on here? Got a new book, Thriving in Chaos. That sounds interesting. And you decide, well, I'm going to scan the QR code. The QR code then takes someone to a funnel. What does that funnel do? Maybe offer some good things. You get an email address. Now you see what we're already doing from a strategic standpoint. We're using and leveraging the YouTube channel opportunity. And this is the key part to then grow the channel. So you can get 150 views and you go, man, that stinks. That's 150 views. People are getting 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 views. But you've got 150 opportunities for people to scan your opportunity and get over to your funnel and buy your stuff. That's the monetization before monetization. Right now, we're going to talk about some specific strategies. But Rob, what do you think about that? I love being able to build that for you and say, hey, let's try it. Let's see what happens. See if it's not too busy in the background, people go and do some stuff.
Right. No, I love it. I love it. And one of the big things is it's really important for everybody to remember. I think when we talk about starting a YouTube channel, we talk about doing any of these things. It's important to realize that if the only reason you're doing something is to make money, you're going to struggle because it's a lot more work than the money that you make in the beginning. Period. Full stop. Right. Building a YouTube channel, it requires consistency. It requires discipline. It requires diligence. It requires you actually having something to say. Right. One of the reasons why this show works is because Randy and I live breathe, talk. Every time we get together, we're talking business anyway. We were like, we have these conversations all the time anyway. Why don't we have these conversations so that people can benefit from them?
Exactly.
Right. And therefore it makes it possible. So for those of you all that are out there, don't get me wrong, it's not that you don't have to be a talker, right? There are people that have YouTube videos that just people watching them do what they do. Right? Maybe you're a creative. Maybe you're somebody that builds stuff. I remember I had one, and Randy, one of our students in Spring GR, right? She makes custom bras and she puts her custom bra making process, right? Because she does flowers and feathers and all types of sequins and all types of really cool stuff that she does. And she'll put it on Instagram. She'll put it on YouTube. And so she gets lots of views. She's not doing any talking. There's music in the background and she's building. Right. So don't think that you have to be a talker, but one of the things that you do have to have if you're building a YouTube channel is you have to have a passion for whatever it is that you're doing, because you're going to need to be consistent. You're going to need to put out enough content for people to come, because one of the things that people think, and this is a misconception, I want to know how you've experienced this, Randy. A lot of people think that you're going to do the viral video and then you're just going to have a number of views. And the reality is a lot less glamorous than that. What happens is you get lurkers, right? I've heard this term before and I loved it when I heard it, right? You get lurkers. You get people that you don't know are following you. They won't subscribe. They won't like a video. They won't do anything, but they'll go watch all of your stuff to figure out whether they like you. And then they'll become a fan. They subscribe, they like, they comment, they engage, they do all the rest of that. But that might be 2-3 months. But here's the thing. If you're only doing one video a month, guess what? You just extended how long your lurkers have to lurk before they actually become fans, right? So in doing this, all of these types of things, you're trying to build connections. Before that, I love that phrase you just said, to monetize before you monetize, right? Mm-hmm. YouTube has set this standard of 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 views. But do you know how much money you can make before you ever get to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 views? You know how many things you can sell? This background, Randy, is amazing with this stuff, right? There's a QR code, there's the book. You know how many books I have sold before? Like, I'm still not monetized on my channel right now. We just started it a little while ago, just before the beginning of the year. We're still not monetized, but you know how many books I've sold? You know how much stuff, how many clients, right? How many people have come in and commented and, oh, we like your stuff, and have come to other things that I'm doing because of the fact that I have information out there and they can see it, that it's genuine, that it's actually beneficial to them. And so I've got, we've got this show, I've got a show on Thursdays on Facebook that people are showing up at, all because they're in my ecosystem. They're in the atmosphere of the things that we're doing with Thriving in Chaos. So I think that it's important to realize, as you all are thinking about starting a YouTube channel, thinking about monetizing, that there's so many ways to monetize you're doing on YouTube, other than just what YouTube is, the money that YouTube is giving you. As a matter of fact, one of my mentors said, you want to make more money from what you do so that you don't have to rely on the money that you get from YouTube.
That's one of the key things. And then we start thinking about strategies to drive people. Now, I know YouTube world, you're not going to like hearing this, but strategies to drive people to your asset base. Right now, that becomes a key thing. What can you offer them? Now, we're going to just drop these strategies on you because we love you, right? So
before you get into strategies, Randy, give them a little note about why it is that they want to drive people to their base. Like that right there. Like, see, these are the things he'll drop like super nuggets and then just gloss right past it. This right here is the key. All the stuff he's about to tell you right now is for this reason. Go ahead, tell them why it is.
Here's the key consideration. You're renting land right now. Social media channels, rented land. You don't own them. And if you've ever been kicked off Facebook, or if you ever ran an ad and they said no, and it was the second time, third time, they go, you know what, we're going to shut your account down. Then you experience that, right? But you're on rented land. Doesn't matter if it's, TikTok. It doesn't matter if it's Twitch. It doesn't matter where it is. You're renting that land. And they give you a check for planting stuff on it. Let's just think about that for a minute. But now when you have the opportunity and community and conversation, and you're talking to folks, right? And you're saying, hey, listen, I've got something special for you. I'm going to leave a link in the description field or I'm going to put it up on the board, on the QR code. Go ahead and scan the QR code. Go over and get this free XYZ. Now that's taking them to a place where they can sign up to your newsletter, that you get an email. Guess what? You own that email. You download that to your spreadsheet, right? And if you don't use spreadsheet, you put it somewhere, Dropbox or wherever you want to put it. You now have an asset in your hand that every day, if you so choose to, you can address that asset. In other words, you can talk to them. You can send them offers. You can send them stories. You can, hey, let them know when the next videos come out. That's one of the strategies that helps you begin to take the platform itself, wherever you're at, in this case, YouTube, one of the most watched social media channels, and then leverage it to send people to what you want to send them to. That's one of the key considerations, right? So that's what you're thinking about as you're creating something. Here's an example. So Rob's got the book out. Let's say you've got some writing out. Well, I would love to hear your writing on YouTube. Talk to me, read to me, right? I can imagine, as I look into the book here, right? One of the chapter titles is called 5 Steps to Time Mastery. Well, damn it, I want to know what those 5 steps are. So now your YouTube channel, in essence, think about this, guys, could be the very thing that you just come on and talk about, whether it's daily, weekly, monthly, however it is. And then you offer, hey, listen, we're going to talk about chapter 1 or 2, but we'd like to give you 3 chapters free. Click here, go here. Now, this is your YouTube channel being used to do what? Express what you've already written. Now, that's the one way. We're gonna reverse engineer this too, right? We're gonna say that what you talk about on YouTube can then be transcribed in written format. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying right now? So now you've just gotten several opportunities to monetize something that you did one time. You do it visually, and some people say, well, my hair wasn't right. I just didn't feel good, blah, blah, blah. I didn't want to be on screen. Oh, okay, that's fine. You're a better radio voice than you are. So let's use that, right? So you just put up the picture of the thing that you're talking about, and then you talk. Tell me what you feel. I got a client that I'm going to be working with today, and I'm pretty sure they're going to become a client because I'm just dropping some good stuff on them, right? And they're in the religious space. So I says, well, and they're preaching to me. I says, hey, you're preaching to the choir and you're wasting this really good stuff you just dropped on me. How about if we go and we record this? We put it on your YouTube channel talking about your subject matter. And then you give people a chance to come into your funnel or come into your world or become a part of your audience or whatever it is. Let's do that. So that way that all that fire and all that brimstone and all that heat and all that energy that I'm feeling now, getting excited, preaching to the choir again, why don't you put that in a leverageable opportunity? And that's the YouTube channel, right? Now you see, so now, okay, let's get past that, Rob. Let's get to some of the things that you should absolutely be thinking about as you're building out your channel. Now, some stuff that I was kind of hard-headed on because I had the bigger ideal in mind, but now I go, you know what? After a whole bunch of videos, I want those 4,000 hours and I want those, 1,000 subscribers. And I've got 3 channels that have the one part of it and I'm working on the other. But it is super duper competitive now. So what do? You do some research. And I'm telling you, I just been getting amazed. I thought you had to, blaze your own trail.
No.
Well, not really. All right. I was talking with a guy that owns, that was the creator of Trend Watchers. And he says, well, not all the time. He says, sometimes you take what's going on right now and you blend it into what you're talking about. I says, wait a minute. He says, it's snatched from the headlines. He says, yes. He says, you make your channel conform to and around this particular subject matter because it's being searched for. That's when I started thinking about, oh, wait a minute, search results. I do a lot of stuff in that space right now. Search results. So we go and find out what is being talked about. then you do your video, not the other way around. Right. Friend of mine, my cousin's husband was saying, hey, his daughter started a channel. He said, she's not getting any views. I said, well, what does she talk about? And he's, he's makeup space. I saw that's a very, very popular and very competitive space. So I says, have her do this. Have her take some of the top people out there, have them look at top people in terms of actresses and all that kind of stuff, and have her start talking about what she would do to do something with the tone of their skin, and then do examples. Now she gets the name that's being talked about. She does her technique. She shows before and afters and all of this stuff, right? And now with technology, you can utilize some AI technology to show before and afters as if you Photoshop yourself. So now you've got a trending search. You've got what you would do, and then now you go into your offers and tell people what you're going to do, bring them offsite with your email opportunity. That's how you monetize multiple ways. Next thing you know, you got 27,000 people searching for this name. Then they hit your channel and they go, oh, wow, I love what she's doing. That's a transformational situation, right? And go, yeah. And if she's funny and entertaining and educating, right? That's two of the 3 E's that you should have, right? You should educate, you should entertain, and you should be emotional. Those are the 3 things. Now think about that.
Yeah.
Emotional. If we start crying here on set because we so love business, you'll be like, those guys are tripping. But that's the key, right? So Rob, here's one, and let's kind of bring this down. I was talking to a friend of mine. He says, man, there's really 4 things that matter. He's talked about topic, title, thumbnail, and timing.
Yes.
All right. And he was able to take his channel like in 3 months into monetization strategy. And he uses, but I came up with another one, trends. So you have 4 or 5. So you got trends, topic, title, thumbnail, and timing. Right. When we think about that, what's going on in the world right now?
Gas prices through the roof.
Gas prices through the roof. Gas prices through the roof because of something. Right now, imagine your channel is a financial channel, and you say, hey, what's the effects of gas prices going up on your business? You start talking about that. Then you dig in a little bit and you say, hey, well, if that's the case, shouldn't Uber and Lyft and all of these other opportunities, why should we even be going out getting our food? Shouldn't Uber Eats be bringing our food? Shouldn't Uber everything? Now Uber's got another where they'll bring anything to you. So now you have just taken what's happening, whether you're talking about a war, or you're talking about some strife, some situation. You've taken a world event, brought it into what you talk about, made showed the difference to folks. And you see what's happening, everyone? Now you're talking about a searchable event. Right. So we'll go into a little bit of the strategies, but I love this idea of having your book as what you talk about. Right. And Rob is going to start writing these things at a high clip, and then just giving you an opportunity, right, to just scan it. Even if you're looking at this on your phone, you have the chance to grab that QR code, download a chapter, go to the, find out more, go into the funnel, get your free stuff if he's offering free stuff. And every week he can be talking about that. Now, you want to grow that channel though, Rob? And here's the part where you talk about consistency, and you talk a lot about it in the book. One of the top ways to get your channel monetized is to do a video a day. Oh my gosh, a video a day consistently, right? Letting people know I'm dropping videos every day relative to what is going on out there. How do you find out what's going on? You go and get yourself a virtual assistant if you want to. You do keyword research. But here's the part that's hard. How are people, Rob, tell us, because we need the pro to tell us, how do we stay consistent with something that is not immediately showing us a dividend?
Yes. Now, that's a really good question. And a lot of times, again, we set goals, like even if you go, you got to know where you are and where you're trying to go, right? So for example, if you don't have a YouTube channel, if you don't have any of the rest of that, your goal shouldn't be to do a video a day. Your goal should be to get your YouTube channel up. Then your goal should be to do a video a week. Then you can go to 2 videos a week. Then you can go to 3 videos a week. James Clear talks about it like this. You have to build habits, right, on anchor habits of things that you're already doing. So if you're thinking about your business every week, or for example, when you get a YouTube channel up, one of the things that I did, and one of my goals was to put out a video a week and to be consistent with putting out a video a week. Now, since
I think you call that
November,
habit stacking, doesn't he?
Habit stacking, exactly. Yeah. Since November, I've been able to put out a video a week, right? And we've made that happen. There's been stuff that's happened in the business. There's been stuff that's happened here, all types of different things. We've been able to do that. Now I've gotten good enough to the point where in the next quarter, so starting in April, one of the things that we're going to try to do is to start putting out 2 videos a week instead of 1 video a week, right? Now, once you have those habits in, you've developed all of the ease of how to shoot a quick video, how to edit a quick video, how to upload a quick video, how to do all of that type of stuff. Now you can build that. Now that's for the beginner. That's for the very new person that's never done this. Now, if you're somebody that already knows how to edit, how to post, if you've been doing stuff on Instagram, if you've been doing stuff on Facebook already, and you've been doing 3-minute, 5-minute videos on another platform, you're somebody that already has that habit built. You can go ahead and do a video every day, and it's no problem because you already have all of the necessary habits built in. So for those of you all, first thing that you need to do is look at where you are and be realistic with yourself about what you are willing to do, not once, not twice, but consistently.
I love that, man.
So that's the biggest thing, because a lot of times, we want to have the big goals. We want to have the amazing, I want to climb Mount Everest. And it's like, you haven't even climbed a hill yet. Right? Like,
make it over to Bunny Hill.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just realize that it's going to take some work before you're ready to climb Mount Everest. Like, unless you've done something similar to that. Now, if you're a CrossFit athlete and you've been to the CrossFit Games for the last 10 years, you might be able to go straight from not climbing a mountain to going and climbing Everest in a year. That might be you. But if you're out of shape and haven't worked out in 15 years and you're like, my goal is Everest, just realize that might take you a little while. But that's okay, because you're going to be able to climb the highest mountain in America, and then maybe Mount Kilimanjaro, and then you can go to Everest. And over that time, you will have done things that nobody else in your circle still has never done. You have like, a lot of times we feel like we have to go to be a millionaire to change our circumstances. And it's like, wait a minute. Steve Harvey said this, and I love the way he broke it down. He was like, here's how you make $1 million. You find a $1 idea and you do that 10 times. Now that you can consistently make $10, you find a $10 idea and you do that 10 times. Yeah. Now that you can consistently make $100, you find a $100 idea, you do that 10 times. Now that you can consistently make $1,000, and you build your way up. Because if you don't know how to do $1, $2, $10, $100, $1,000, like $1 million, that's not even something to really focus on. And here's the key to your question, Randy. How do you sustain it when it is so big? It's by making sure that you have small enough wins along the way that you don't have to feel like you're never going to get there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the main thing, that where people fall out, is that if you're not getting a reward, your brain will make your task harder. Your brain will say, wait a minute, we're doing all this work and we ain't getting nothing. What's the point? Nope. Shut it down, make it difficult. And so things get harder and harder and harder as you don't reward yourself. So you got to set your journey up so that you have rewards all the time. Every time you put out a video, it's a reward. Every time you do what you're supposed to do, there's some sort of rewards, because it keys your brain in and say, oh, this is good. Let's keep doing that. So anyway,
that part right there, man, is really kind of right to what you talk about in step 5, right? On page 40 here. It says, aligning your goals and establishing your priorities. Step 2B. Think about this for a minute. Aligning your goals. What am I trying to do? Right now, if you say to yourself, well, I'm trying to get monetized on YouTube, right? I'm trying to get my 1,000 hours, Now, you can align your goals and then say, how am I going to get there? That's
Mm-hmm.
when you start looking at, I got to make sure I'm on trend. I got to make sure I've got the right topic, title, thumbnail, timing.
Mm-hmm.
Now you say, now keep in mind, you're figuring this out first. You're aligning your goals. And then, as Rob says, establishing your priorities. So
Mm-hmm.
now you say to yourself, well, the first thing I do when I get up in the morning is this, and this. It'll be this, and then I put out my video.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You have placed it as a priority. You have
Mm-hmm.
started the habit. And like James Clear talked about, habit stacking is real. And then the brain says, look, that was cool. We liked that. And it will start working for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Establishing its own efficiencies. And then
Yes.
eventually you're going, you know, it's a lot of work because running YouTube channels are a lot of work. But
Mm-hmm.
then you say, well, who can help me?
The
You start
best
finding
question
who can
ever.
help me with this. I'm good at this, but I'm not great at this. Now what happens is you start bringing in the help that you need to get the work done because it's become an established priority. Right now, I've been contemplating on doing this because I've been watching some of Matt Parr stuff, and I've been really contemplating on taking him up on one of his challenges, and that's the 30-day sprint challenges. Right
Mm-hmm.
now, because I
Mm-hmm.
can concentrate on a lot of things for 30 days. Right. And again, it's because it's a part of the work, everyone. It's not like you're saying, well, if I don't get monetized or my 4,000 hours, I'm quitting, because you have built other things in there, right? Remember, you're
Mm-hmm.
getting people over to the channel so that you can get them off channel and onto your list, onto your into your funnels and stuff like that, right? So you have a bigger idea around it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, keep in mind, you've got your QR code things rocking. People, I'm making about $1,000 a month just off of the use of QR codes, and that's low, right? I go to buy me a coffee QR code, things like that, because you can now use that, and people are so curious and sometimes nosy. They just go, "What is that?" Right? I can see
Mm-hmm.
them; they're up there going, right, and then they got these little actions and stuff like that, and they drop over into your stuff, and next thing you know, you got them because you're giving stuff
Mm-hmm.
such good value. So now think about that for a minute. Your bigger idea, of course, is to provide something valuable to people, right? Educational. You're going to do it obviously in an emotional kind of way. You don't want to be over there monotoning stuff. You don't want to be boring, right? We don't have to be Mr. Beast and all these folks, right, that are just doing amazing things and entertaining you in crazy ways and getting all these views because of it. I don't have to be that person, but at least come with some heat, come with some energy,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And then use these steps. Now, we're going to be talking a little bit more about this subject matter. We wanted to kind of tell you that there are ways that you can establish your YouTube channel. Think about it in a bigger way. Start monetizing before you actually get the YouTube's, stamp of approval. And, I want to share one more tip too, Rob.
Mm-hmm.
Swimming, I've used to hear this all the time, and I didn't like it and I didn't believe it. Swimming against the tide just gets you tired.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you can be a great swimmer, but swimming against the tide is going to get you tired,
I can
especially in
attest to
this
that
game.
from personal experience.
I was a swim against it. I'm different. I want to be new. I'm finding blue oceans, blah, right? Well, that's fine,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's going to get you tired. But in the game of YouTubing and stuff like that, what is already working out there? Let's find those
Yes.
channels. And,
Yes.
I've been getting a lot of software lately that will help me literally go out and find the popular channels in my niche.
Mm-hmm.
So you go and start finding out what's already trending. Well, they've already done the work. Well, I think we talked about this in class. It's like when McDonald's would build a spot, Burger King would soon come, or Burger King would build a spot. They did all the work, and then McDonald's goes, "Well, we're
Mm-hmm.
McDonald's. Thank you for doing the work." Right?
Exactly.
Thank you for doing the research. Next thing you know, they pop up
Mm-hmm.
and put their business right in the middle of all the great stuff that you have already found out about consumer behavior. Same concept.
Mm-hmm.
Swimming against the tide will make you tired, but when you find a a subject matter that's already being talked about, whether you're keyword searching or you just watch what other videos are doing, and then you model them. Literally, all the way down to the thumbnails. I mean, don't copy them, but all the way down to if they're using little circles in their thumbnails, they're using, you know, bright colors, if they're using certain fonting, if they're these are the signals for you that if that person has 856,000 views, you put your video in front of, even if you did it in the ad way, and there's some specific ways you have to do this so that YouTube doesn't tank your videos. You put your videos in front of them. Now you have an opportunity to be in that same space, but just different.
Mm-hmm.
And that how you do it differently is kind of up to you, right?
Yep.
What is your creativity? What are you doing things in a different way emotionally? Are you being a little bit more educational? Can you bring an angle to it that then goes out and says to folks, hey, we're different, but the same.
Mm-hmm.
People don't want too different. All right. Now, those are some strategies that you can start using to build up your audience. Stop swimming against the tide. And that's what I've been doing for years.
Mm-hmm.
Swimming against the tide, out there just getting tired, and it's just bad. Now I'm kind of going, oh, I see. Right. And I'm going to be testing this over the next quarter to see what the difference it makes. Using some software, keyword searching, stop swimming against the tide, find out what's already working, deal with the keywords, trends, and all that kind of stuff. And I want to see, I'm going to take a brand new channel and see if I can do this sprint. I'm going to use all the stuff that Matt Parr talks about, right? And I'm going to see if I can get it to these levels, not only of monetization, but monetize even, or making me some money even before it gets the YouTube stamp of approval monetizations. That's what I'm looking forward to. And we'll report out once we come back in and get with you guys. Is that fair enough, everybody? We hope that we've been able to give you a little bit. We didn't want to make this too long because we can really dig into the weeds. We just want you out there establishing your two channels to do what Rob is doing right now with his book, right? They're giving you the opportunity to jump over into that book, right? It's a good book. You see, I got it and I've read it and I've underlined it and I've, just basically destroyed the inside because it's so good.
I appreciate that.
Right? Now take your stuff to the next level.
Yeah. Yeah. And remember, we're going to go into depth about those 5 T's that Randy talked about here in later episodes. We're going to talk about how do you follow trends? How do you figure out what the topic is? How do you figure out what your thumbnail should be? How do you time it right? All of those different types of things we'll go through in depth because there are specific strategies that you'll need to know for those. But let us know in the comments which of those things are most interesting to you, which ones you want us to do first. So we'll put them in the order that you all tell us in the comments.
Yeah, and absolutely. If you love what you're hearing here, everyone, subscribe to the channel. Now, we're not into the vanity metrics, but we really would like to see a lot of subscribers. We would love to see downloads. We have obviously a bigger idea. We want to be able to express some of the things that we're working on in this channel. That's why we love being able to get together like this, right? And then as a side note, then we're going to be grabbing this information, putting it together in a copulation. We're going to put it together in a book or a course, a workshop, a summit, something like that, and then be able to deliver that to you. Now you see what we're doing. Follow it, model it, be about it, so you can establish yours in a much easier way from watching what we do. That sound good? If it does, everybody, let's get into it, and we'll see you on the next video.